I just spent over $5,000 installing every single pipe in this house. Every pipe insulated. A hot water recirculating system. And tools I have never touched before. This is the biggest step yet in building the entire house. High-end plumbing done from scratch, and I'm showing you how it all came together. A house build is just a very complex puzzle that you need to solve phase by phase. And during this month, I solved another part of this giant puzzle, which has been hunting me for months. The problem with this task is that it was an enormous project in itself, just for myself, and I just cannot do things halfway there, so I knew I was going to go all in during the plumbing phase. And it took me over a month to get all this job finished, that I'm gonna show you in this video. So after gathering all the material that I thought I needed, I started the job on a Monday morning, a fresh week for a new task that I have never done before. As you could see, I bought a lot of insulation for the pipes. All the pipes of the house, whether they are cold water or hot water, will be insulated, but I will explain that in detail later. And here are all the fittings, clamps, the Uponor multi-layer pipe that I will be using, valves, washers, a pipe cutter, and this is a tool that I bought for this job. I wanted to do clean curves and have a nice installation, so this was going to help. And also this multi-layer pressing tool that presses the fittings to the pipes. Alright, and before I start working, let me explain you what the plan is a little bit so you can follow what I'm doing. Behind that wall is the mechanical room, and inside that room is where the water heater is going to be and where the main entrance of cold water is going to be as well. I will be needing to bring the hot and cold water through the ceiling all the way to the kitchen and both bathrooms. The first bathroom is in the hallway. And the master bathroom is all the way at the end of the building. Here I will have the bathroom main shut-off valve. Without any delay, let's start feeding pipes. I started with the pipes that go closer to the facade and work my way inside the structure. In this case, it's the first hot water pipe that will be feeding the kitchen island. I needed to make a sharp turn, but I was not very confident in my new fancy pipe bender, so I ended up using just a normal spring that you put outside the pipe and use it to bend it carefully. Then I insulated the whole line, so the hot water stays hot for as long as possible, and I use a very thick and dense insulation, and very expensive as well. And it was now time to press fit a fitting for the very first time in my life. After that, I drilled 2 holes in the structure so I could pass the hot and cold water pipes, cleaned all around the cut with a file so I will not damage the pipe later on, and painted the metal to avoid corrosion. And with some luck I was able to fit the pipe through the hole I just made while passing through the insulation sleeve. I decided to give the pipe bender a chance and bend this corner. But I was not sure whether I had pinched the pipe or not, so I cut the pipe in half just to inspect the corner and make sure for the rest of the project that I can actually trust this bender. And it was actually very nicely bent, so now I knew I could rely on the tool. You see this hole here? So you need to make sure that you see the pipe through that hole. That means that the pipe is completely inside. And now I am ready to press it with the machine. And remove the sticker that tells me if I have pressed the fitting or not. I could go crazy and cut this 45 degrees if I wanted to, but not sure if it's worth it, man. Okay. After that I continued feeding hot water pipes, this time to the master bathroom, and using a 25mm pipe, which is a bit thicker than the previous one and harder to handle. But little by little I made it all the way to the bathroom. I also insulated the pipe and attached the elbow. Now I'm installing the main shut-off valves of the bathroom that will go hidden down here inside the vanity. And tape them so no dirt from the holes that I'm about to make above them can get into it and damage them. Here's a close-up of me cutting the 25mm multi-layer pipe. In this case it's a straight bar and it's very hard to cut, but nothing impossible with a good tool. And now I'm drilling the holes for the pipes, and for some reason the drill wanted to pick a fight with me that day. After taming the drill and cleaning the edges of the hole, I installed the vertical pipe. This is the one I was cutting earlier, and as you can see, it's a perfect straight bar that comes in 6 meters long. I bought some straight pipes so I could make a clean and straight installation where I wanted, instead of trying to straighten the coil pipes. During normal use, water pipes can move, so to protect them from being cut by the structure, I installed these red corrugated pipes around them at each hole and secure them with a zip tie, after of course bringing the insulation all the way down. Now with the straight pipe, that is so stiff that it was a bit of a struggle to make it fit to the elbow above, but nothing that some man's strength could not handle. And here is the MVP of the whole installation, the Loctite 55 pipe sealing cord. This is not a sponsor or anything like that, this is actually a very cheap product, and I have actually always used Teflon tape for my threads, and not having a leak was like playing lottery, you know. Sometimes I will get lucky and sometimes my connection will leak, and I read somewhere that the Loctite 55 pipe sealing cord was highly recommended. So I gave it a try, and oh my god, why nobody has shown this to everyone in the world already. I had 0 leaks in all my threaded connections for the whole install, which was completely out of my best dreams. Here I'm feeding the sink faucets with hot water, and I will explain a little bit later how everything goes. This small part was too short for me to introduce the insulation sleeve before pressing it, so I just cut one piece to size and held it with zip ties. And again protected all the pipes where it crossed the structure. Working so close with all the sharp edges of the structure got my hands destroyed, but in my defense, I could not use gloves because I needed sensitivity in my fingertips for the majority of the job. But I left bleeding marks all over the structure. This week I finally received a product that is going to help us transition into the new house, the Bluetti Apex 300. We don't have electricity in the house yet, and it is going to take us a while to install the final solar system, so its capacity of 2764 watts-hour and an output of 3840 watts, it's going to allow us to move to the house already. And another thing that I liked before getting it is that it is extremely easy to scale up to 19 kilowatts-hour capacity by just adding battery packs. And you can even connect 3 Apex 300 together in parallel for a maximum capacity of 58 kilowatts-hour, which will be much more than enough to run the new house completely. It is built with second generation automotive grade LiFePO4 built to last 17 years. The unit comes with 6 AC outlets, and I also got the hub D1 Power Hub, which is a hub that connects to the Apex 300 to run all your DC needs with USB-C, USB-A, cigarette lighter, and much more. And it's great for powering high-power DC-AC devices in RVs and camper vans. The unit and even its expansions are just plug and play, so you just turn it on and connect your loads. And it has an ultra-low self-consumption, 2-3 times more efficient than the competitors. And it is so powerful that you can run pretty much any machine that you connect to it. So it is ideal for off-grid workshops and building sites. You can charge it in many different ways. Using solar, for example, I can connect it to my existing solar panels here on the roof of the workshop, or connecting it to the AC outlet and also the solar panels, so you do an AC plus solar dual charging, or you can even use a generator to charge it, which is great during power outages. In my case, I have this backup generator that I can connect to the Apex 300 and charge it. You can connect the device to your Wi-Fi to control it from far away, and you can even turn it on remotely before arriving home. The Bluetti app lets you control so many things that I will need a full video to explain it. For example, you can check your savings, set up the magic button, control pretty much anything from the device, and get real-time extreme weather alerts via the app, and prepare the device in advance. And if that was not already enough, it has the world's longest battery lifespan, more than 6,000 cycles to 80% capacity. If you are in need of a beast of a portable power station, the Bluetti Apex 300 is definitely your choice. I will leave the link and discounts in the description below. Here I am feeding the faucets of the bathtub. I was getting better and better with the pipes, allowing me to do some custom shapes and getting everything done faster and faster. Alright, so yesterday I finished all the installation for the hot water in the master bathroom. So basically what I did is I brought the mains. There's a 25 millimeters one from the mechanical room all the way on the ceiling. I didn't secure it yet to the ceiling because I'm missing clamps that I want to use and I don't have that many, so I'm just using one here and there so I can keep working, and after I buy a bunch of them then I will secure the whole line. But anyways, I came here with the 25, I went down, and then the main shut off valve. Normally you have these guys close to the ceiling, like maybe behind the door or something like that in normal houses. I don't like to see the valves, so I put it in the vanity, inside the vanity, so if we need to close in an emergency, we need to close the water inside the bathroom, I just need to open the door of the vanity and close it. I think it's much faster than trying to bring, you know, a step or something to access a valve that is near the ceiling, and also that way we don't see it, so it looks, in my opinion, much better. We come down, if the shut-off valve is open, then the water will keep up going up, all the way up. But in here we have a T, and this T comes to this other T. One of the sides of the T go to feed one of the faucets from the main sink. The other side of the T goes down and comes here to this other faucet. The pipe goes up. This is still a 25 millimeters, by the way. This one comes from 25, goes up in 25, and it splits in 20. The sinks don't need 25, 20 is more than enough. I mean, you can even do it with 16, but since, you know, it's pretty much same cost, I decided to do 20 for all the fixtures and 25 to fit the bathrooms and the kitchen. So anyways, this T was here inside, and then 25 continued all the way up, and as you can see there, it splits again in another from 25 to 220s. Let me show it to you. So it's this one. As you can see, it comes in 25 and then it splits in 220s. It's very nice. These are very nice fittings, by the way. I am very happy with them and how easy it has been to work with them. 25 coming from this main pipe, and then 20 to the bathtub. And the bathtub here divides in a T for the hand shower of the bathtub, and here is faucet that actually fills the bathtub. The other end of this T goes to the shower. The hot water comes here and then comes inside the structure and goes to the hot water connection of the fixture, the built-in part of the shower, and then the water goes in and goes to this ceiling shower head. Here is a test that I did yesterday of piece of insulation that I glue, and as you can see, it's extremely strong. I mean, I could tear it apart, I think, if I want to, but I'm doing a lot of pressure already, and it's very glue. I finished 2 days ago, the installation of the hot water of this last bathroom. I ran out of juice in the battery, so I didn't finish filming the whole thing. I just continued working, and yesterday I decided to stop because it was going to be raining very much, and I went to buy the material that I need to finish. I came back like at 7:30 p.m. so I spent the whole day driving from one store to the other, because one store didn't have one thing and the other didn't have, you know, another thing. I spent almost 1,000 euros, but we have all the material here that we need to finish the installation. The insulation for the radiant floor heating that I mentioned. The car is full of things, and this is the insulation for the cold water pipes, the 25 millimeter cold water pipes. And here I have all connections that I was missing for the mechanical room. I bought also valves with retention, so As you can see, it has a ball inside. It goes this way, and if the water stops pushing, then the water that you have in the system pushes the ball down. You don't lose all the water in the system in case that we have, a cutoff in the feeding pipe. I also bought pressure gauges for the system that I need to install. I also bought the supports for the pipes of the air system that I will be installing in probably a next episode. I don't think I have enough time to do it for this one. A thermostatic mixing valve. So this is gonna go right after the heater. So hot water will go here, cold water will come here, and mixed water will go through. So I can control the hot water of the system from this. I have the right temperature for the whole system, and I save a lot of hot water because you're not using the hot water directly from the tank. An expansion tank. It lessens the pressure differences of the system when the water gets hot. This guy expands and contracts with the system, so you don't have problems in pressure, and and you drip less water from the security valve. After collecting all the pipes I needed to finish this time for good, I continued by securing all the pipes to the ceiling, every 1.20 meters or so, and then I finished installing all the cold water pipes. As you can see, I am also insulating the cold water pipes, but in this case with this blue insulation that is thinner and much cheaper than the black one. Like 6 times cheaper. And you could think, why on earth is he insulating the cold lines? If they are already cold, why do you need to insulate it? Does this guy just enjoy working extra? And the answer is yes, I enjoy just doing useless things, but no, just kidding. I just need to insulate the cold water pipes because if not, humidity might condense in the face of the pipes during winter. Because your house is hot and the pipe is cold, so water will condense on them. Hence, wetting everywhere around the pipe and creating mold. I mean, it will not flood your house, that's for sure, but mold is not something that you want inside your walls, and by insulating the pipes, you avoid water being condensed on them. And also it is very cheap, and it's not a lot of work, so don't be lazy. So the bathtub lines are all connected to this main line, and then from here we go to the conical toilet and to the shower. In this other bathroom, here is where the main valve is. It goes to the shower, then to the sink, and then all the way up to the ceiling and to the conical wall hang toilet again. that I need to fit right now. Alright, so as you can see, I am fitting one of the last pipes for these two bathrooms. Is that pipe over there? As you can see, it connects with a T to this second hot water pipe, and I'm gonna try to explain quickly. This left one is the hot water coming in the bathroom. As you can see, again, we have a valve here, and then it goes up, goes to this sink, and then it goes up, goes to the shower, and then continues up, goes to that T and connects to the pipe that I just inserted in the house from the mechanical room. And what it is a return of the hot water all the way to the mechanical room and inside the heater. I am actually connecting it to a pipe that already comes from the master bathroom. So from this second pipe that is going out the bathroom, we did this and took the return line all the way to the other bathroom, and that is where I am connecting the second one. So it comes here, this is coming from the master bathroom, and then I did a T and I'm connecting it to this bathroom, and this is the pipe that I just inserted. Goes to the mechanical room. That way, what we are trying to achieve is to recirculate the water all the time, the hot water all the time, so we can keep it hot, because you know the mechanical room and the actual heater is far away from, especially from the last bathroom. So if you don't recirculate the water, that means the hot water will get cold in the pipe if you don't use it. And in the morning when you wake up and want to take a shower, you need to empty the whole pipe until you get hot water from the mechanical room, from the heater. And in order to avoid that, what we are going to do is to recirculate the water. So we have this pipe that comes back and brings the hot water back and closes a circuit. So it's a closed circuit where we can just circulate hot water. And what we're gonna have is just a pump with a thermostat. And when the thermostat of the pump detects that the water in that pipe, in the return pipe, gets colder than a certain number, I think right now I'm thinking about 53 degrees, then if it gets to 52 degrees, the pump starts and moves the water to the heater, recirculating all the hot water until the pump detects that the water that got to the pump is actually 53 degrees. Once it's 53 degrees, that means the water inside the pipe is heated. The pump itself is only 6 watts, you know, it's very low power. And the heater will need to turn on, you know, once you bring water in. But you are bringing water in at 53 degrees, not at, you know, 20 or 15 degrees that the cold water is at. So you are bringing hot water or warm water inside the heater, so it doesn't need to heat up water from cold. It's already kind of warm, so it doesn't consume that much again. And we gain 2 things. First, we save on water because we don't open the shower and wait for 3 minutes for the water to be hot because it's far away. So if we don't do this, it might take, you know, a minute and a half to waste water until it gets hot. And also we gain in comfort because, you know, it's very nice to turn the water on, the hot water on in the morning, and you have pretty much instant hot water. This pipe is already hanging. I need to touch it to the ceiling. But we have cold water for the master bathroom, cold water for the bathroom in the hallway. We have hot water for the master bathroom, hot water for the bathroom in the hallway, and then we have the return pipe. Alright, not sure if I'm gonna put this in this video, but I had a few comments regarding the location of the switches of this bathroom. regarding of if being inside of the bathroom or not. One of the comments was regarding design, like it wasn't a good design or something like this. It would be a better design, in this comment's opinion, to have it on the outside, so when you get to the room, you know, if it's dark outside, you go to the room, and when you open the door, you can turn the light on before accessing the bathroom. But two things: I don't like the idea of being in the bathroom and someone by mistake turning the light off from the outside. That happened to me when I was a kid pretty much every day. I like to control the light of the space that I'm in from the inside. That's, I think it's a better, more usable design. Also, this person was saying that if it's dark, then you don't know where things are. But if it's dark, then it's dark everywhere. Like hallway here will be dark as well because it will be night. So I will turn on the light in the hallway, in the corridor, before getting to this door. So I turn on the light of the corridor before getting to this door. So these spaces are already lit, you know. When I open the door, the light of the corridor will go in, you know, and I will just, it's not like I'm going inside a pitch black space. It's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be lit by the lights of the corridor. So I go in and then I turn the lights, not in complete dark because I can see, you know, the light is on in the corridor. Of course, if the light is off in the corridor, if you open the door, then the bathroom will be dark, but it will be also dark on the outside. So it's the same situation. So anyways, just wanted to put it out there because it didn't make much sense to me. So I'm replying to this comment with all the kindness in my heart. And then I got another comment of, you know, a pro electrician with hundreds of years of experience, telling me that it was actually illegal to install the switches inside bathrooms, not only in Portugal but in the whole Europe, and that's a mistake. Sorry, I am not an electrician, but I know my things. Especially if I decide to do things, I become very pro at it. And you know, as an architect, I study electricity for installations in buildings, especially in residential buildings. So it's not that I don't know anything. I know I look like a very approachable guy, and I don't like to boast about my knowledge. But if I decide to do something, it's because I know it, and if I don't know it, I do my research extensively before I start. So anyways, that law that he's referring, so you are not allowed to have switches inside humid spaces because you might electrocute yourself. That was an old law. It was removed in 2014, 11 years ago. So now you can have switches wherever you want. The technology has advanced so much that you can have switches inside the bathroom, mainly because switches are better protected, so you don't get electrocuted. It's very complicated. And also bathrooms are less humid than back in the days. I realized not all houses consider the bathroom not humid because there are many ways to build and many ways to deal with the humidity in a bathroom. In our case, we're going to have a central system that takes all the air of the humid air, all the humid air out of the bathroom instantly. In normal situations, without cooking or showering or taking a bath, it's going to be removing the air, all the air of the house every 3 hours. So it's always constantly working. And then it has a sensor in the system. So when you start taking a shower, a hot shower, and the humidity starts building up a little bit, it has a humidity sensor. So when the sensor detects an increase in humidity, the system turns on a little bit stronger and removes all the humidity of the bathroom. I mean, we will not have condensation in the mirror while we shower. That's how little humidity we're gonna have. So normally you get out of the shower and you can, draw a heart for your wife. So when she comes back and take a shower, she can see it. In our case, we will not be able to do this. We will need to show our love in a different way because we will not have condensation in our mirrors. So if we don't have condensation in our mirrors, you can imagine that we will not have much condensation for the switches. But again, that law has been, removed and replaced and removed completely 11 years ago. So some pros need to actually study a little bit. As you can see, we have been very busy with work, and I haven't even been able to post pretty much videos in YouTube because I'm been cranking and working pretty much every day to get the house finished, man. We finished drywall like 3 weeks ago, and yesterday we finished cleaning the whole thing after painting. So all the walls are painted, as you can see. Just missing, for example, this one. Maybe that is the back of where the kitchen is going to be. We didn't paint it yet, just because we wanted to focus on the surfaces that are gonna be seen, like the living room, and all the ceilings, everything is done, man. Look.